So now I want to talk to you about technology in solar and where we're actually going. So when I first got involved in solar in 2011, panels were somewhat smaller. They were 3x5s. They only had a wattage of 185. That doesn't mean a lot to you now, but I'm going to help you out with that. I want you to take a wattage and I want you to multiply it by anywhere between 1.65 and 1.8. Now that just means where your panels might be facing. So if you're east, you use that 1.65. And that'll tell you how many kilowatt hours that panel is going to produce for you. So now you know how many panels you need. If you're facing south or west, multiply that panel by 1.8. And that will tell you how many kilowatt hours you'll get for the year based on one panel. Okay, so let's just for easy math, let's take 300, okay? We're going to take 300, we're going to multiply it, because most panels today are at 185s, they're around 300. And that's what keeps happening. The technology is advancing, but it's not changing. It's not going to change. And let me just say this one more time. It can't change. It's impossible. It is where it is. They can just become more efficient. They can't change the technology. So you take 300, multiply it by 1.8. Let's say you got a nice house sitting in you got lots of space. 1.8 times 300 is roughly 480, around there, maybe 500, closer to 500. That one panel will produce 500 kilowatt hours a year. So if you get 10 panels, that'll produce 5,000 kilowatt hours a year. If you get 15 panels, that'll produce, help me out, Barry, how much is that going to produce?
5,000 more, I would
5,000 more. So you can see how you can size your house. And you just take your electric bill, take your usage, and that's how many panels you need. So when you click on those crazy ads that tell you, put in your monthly payment, that's all they're doing. That's it. Okay, so where's the technology going? Well, the technology is here. In the next 10 years, solar will be the most used electrical concept in this country. That is not going to change, I promise you. That is in place. There's all kinds of ways to make electricity. And then when you're talking about the big multi-billion-dollar plants that output cars and tires and they manufacture, no, they're not, they'll use some solar, but they're still going to draw from a utility company. We need utility companies because we have street systems that we need to maintain. We got electric cars coming. We got to account for that. There's going to be much more pressure on the grid. But solar is going to be the #1 used commodity by people. People like you and me and Barry be sitting here. We're going to be all using solar because it's going to be too expensive to do anything else. Okay? Now, let me talk seriously here. Solar panels are going to be able to, right now, they're sold on direct lighting. Everything's sold on direct lighting. They're going to be so efficient that you can put them on the other side of your house and they'll still create electricity using light, even if it's indirect. That's where it's going. It doesn't matter in 10 years, it's not going to matter how your house is sitting. It's going to be solar. It's going to have solar capability. However, battery technology is going to change. Right now, it's very expensive. Those prices will come down. You remember the thin TV? Well, I grew up, I'm 58 years old. So I remember watching the big box, big piece of furniture with a little screen on it. And all of a sudden, the thin TV came out. That thing was $4,000. That thing is $400 today. Battery technology is going to do the same thing. Those prices are coming down. But right now, if you live in Hawaii or parts of Arizona or parts in California, you're almost being required to get a battery to run your solar because it puts a less strain on the grid. I can't get into that now. It's not going to make any sense to you, but it's kind of a benefit between the homeowner and the utility company to be able to use a battery out in managing the grid properly. And so battery technology is going to be a huge thing. If you think that you live in an area where battery technology is applicable or has to be used, please give me a call. I'm Steve Caparella, New Sun Energy Concepts.